I'm sorry, prior authorization is required for thoughts and prayers. Unfortunately, thoughts and prayers will not be covered by our policy in this state. I submitted my claim for condolences, but sadly, it got denied.
Welcome back to Buzzing Media Trending Talks. Have you guys heard of the unaliving of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan, New York, outside of the Hilton Hotel? Well, if you haven't, the upcoming stitch will show you America's response to the unaliving of the CEO and their carefree attitude, as most are outraged at the fact that such CEO and companies, health insurance companies in particular, have caused thousands of Americans to lose their lives yearly due to not approving medical necessary surgeries and treatment for preventative care. So let's see how America feels about it.
Our mission and values are focused on helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone. Data is at the core of our agenda to improve healthcare, which directly influences how we develop innovative consumer solutions.
It's happening. The people are revolting. Historians warned us that eventually, if the wealth gap became too wide, the people would have no choice but to quite literally revolt violently. Now, I am not saying that this is the answer, and my heart goes out to his family sincerely from the bottom of my heart, but I don't think that this is going to be the first or the last. The elites have been warned. If you keep taking and taking and taking, history has shown us time and time again that the peasants are going to eventually violently revolt. So I don't think this is, an ex-lover, a disgruntled employee. I think this is some Robin Hood shit. Someone either lost a family member due to a claim denial, because UnitedHealthcare is quite known for that. I don't know, but I think this is the start of the next American Revolution. People are dying. People have no money. People are desperate. We know what happens in desperate times. Once again, not condoning this, but historians warned us that this was going to start happening if we don't care for everyone and give people a life of dignity and the things that they need.
They are never going to find this guy. He vanished the second he went into Central Park. Even the NYPD, like an hour after the shooting, was glazing up this suspect, saying he's the best we've ever seen. He's a professional. They're saying he flew in from Atlanta. He had a burner phone. He ditched all of his gear. He took the time to etch, deny, defend, depose into all of the bullets that he used. I think that this guy is going to be this generation's DB Cooper. Like, they are just never going to find him. He's going to turn into an urban legend. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he disappeared immediately. And the best part about all this is that he drastically amplified class solidarity, because no matter if you voted for Trump or Kamala, a lot of people are agreeing that insurance agencies are some of the most predatory companies out there. You pay into them for your entire adult life, and then they deny 32% of claims that could have been for life-saving care that probably resulted in the suspect's, loved ones or family members passing away unnecessarily. And I really do think that a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize that a for-profit privatized healthcare system is not in the best interests of the people that it pretends to serve.
The guy who unalived the UnitedHealthcare CEO wrote on the bullets, "Deny, defend, depose." People want to know what that means, and it means something very specific within a legal context, because it refers to strategies that insurance industry players will use to essentially avoid accountability. But because they were written on bullets, it actually sends a message, a very clear message, and it starts to sound like a revolutionary battle cry. Now, I am not a lawyer. I am doing this for entertainment purposes only. I'm an internet idiot. Don't take advice from me. So within a legal context, deny is to deny claims or allegations. To defend is to defend against claims, often through legal means. And to depose is to obtain testimony, sworn testimony, typically in pretrial discovery. I don't necessarily support the unaliving of people, okay, so don't get me wrong, but what that person did was an act of rebellion. And that's why, a lot of people are seeing these words, deny, defend, depose, and they're like, it sounds like a slogan. It sounds like a war cry or something. And it is. It is. Here's the double meaning of that. To deny is to deny the corrupt authorities and institutions in this country. To defend is to defend against them. to defend our communities, our rights, our freedoms. And to depose is to dismantle these corrupt systems and replace them with something equitable. What's also really interesting about this, just looking at the events of the past 24 hours, if you're on UFO Talk at all, you know that there was all of this talk about how there was going to be a great battle in the sky between fighter jets and UFOs on December 3rd for reasons we won't get into outside the scope of this video. But that didn't happen. What did happen is the French government collapsed because people are fed up. And South Korea tried to impose martial law and people revolted. So it lasted for like 3 hours. This has all happened within the past 48 hours. And there's something a brewing in the world right now. And it is collective and it is big. And 2025 is going to be a ride. So buckle up.
Listen, I'm not a cop or anything, but if you're saying that the UnitedHealthcare CEO assassination was just someone disgruntled who has insurance with them, wrong. Listen, I'm sure that there are tons of regular old people that would love to gun that guy down, but it was for sure a whole ass hit. In broad daylight, in the front of a hotel that he's having an investor meeting with, a guy pedals up on a pedal bike with a handgun with a silencer, shoots once, it jams, unjams it, continues to shoot this man in the broad ass daylight, gets back on his pedal bike and scoots. Hit.
I think we all needed some good news today. Obviously, I would never publicly condone violence of any kind, but I don't think anyone should feel bad about this. The entire business model of private health insurance companies, especially UnitedHealthcare, is to prey on the most vulnerable people in society, to deny life-saving medication, life-saving treatment, all to boost their own salaries and appease their shareholders. It is companies like this and people like this guy that are the reason why healthcare is so insanely unaffordable in this country. 45% of Americans struggle to pay their medical bills. And then you have this guy making $10 million a year to basically just rob people of treatment. The assassin got away. He escaped on an e-bike, so he literally could have been anyone. He could have just been somebody whose family member or loved one was passed away because they were denied life-saving treatment. Or he could have just been someone who's fed up with late-stage capitalism and America turning into a kleptocracy. Like, the wealth disparity in this country is getting so insanely ridiculous, and we don't want the ultra-wealthy running the show at the expense of working class people. I mean, like, 8 of Trump's cabinet picks are billionaires that are out of touch. Meanwhile, normal people can't afford medical bills and are being denied insurance.
You mean to tell me the CEO of the world's largest health insurance company was fatally shot in New York City outside a business meeting, and the police are only offering a $10,000 reward to find this man? Said he fled off on bike? Are you serious? Are you serious? There ain't no damn way. This man worth over $40-something million. Y'all only offering $10,000? Nah, this was planned. This was planned. Did y'all see the video? The video was so crazy. The dude literally had 3 malfunctions in his gun. He had a suppressor, right? And I guess his gun jammed like 3 times, but he unjammed the gun so smooth. It was like that was not his first time putting rounds into a human. There's no way. And then he just calmly walked off. Is it just me, or New York or Los Angeles? I don't care if you a CEO, a boss. It don't matter. Your ass will lose your life in a heartbeat in New York and LA. Because it's like security don't even be out there. It's too many damn people, I guess. Because ain't no damn way this man just get murdered. 8 o'clock in the morning, too. I think it was at 7. The meeting was at 8. The shooters literally sat and waited for this man and knew exactly which door this man was going to come through and just murdered him. Just murdered him. That's crazy. Brian Thompson. 50 years old. That's crazy. Y'all mean to tell me, out of all the cameras, didn't nobody... Man, come on, bro. New York, too? New York is full of cameras. You can't even... Ain't a damn block you can go down without cameras. Hell no.
All right. In the case of unaliving Brian Thompson, has the jury reached its verdict? Yes, Your Honor. And what is your verdict? Your Honor, we find the defendant not guilty. Was this unanimous? Yes, Your Honor. Would you care to explain your reasoning? Absolutely, Your Honor. After thorough deliberation, we, the jury, unanimously concluded that justice for Brian Thompson's unaliving was found out of network. Out of network? Your Honor, it turns out that holding the defendant accountable would require a prior authorization which we didn't have. And quite frankly, none of us could afford the emotional copay. What about empathy for the victim? Well, Your Honor, we tried, but empathy is classified as an elective benefit, and this trial isn't in network for that either. So what are you saying? We're saying thoughts and prayers to the victims of Brian Thompson's, but our condolences are sadly out of coverage. All right, case dismissed.
I'm sorry. Prior authorization is required for thoughts and prayers. Unfortunately, thoughts and prayers will not be covered by our policy in this state. I submitted my claim for condolences, but sadly, it got denied.
So I took CEO out of my LinkedIn bio. No reason in particular. I didn't want nobody to get the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? I heard that CEOs have 30 minutes, child. So mind you, the only employee I have is myself. But I didn't want no confusion, because after what happened the other day outside the hotel to UnitedHealthcare CEO, that's crazy. But what's even crazier is right after that, I read a headline saying that another insurance company is going to stop giving anesthesia for the full time. So they're only going to cover it up to a certain time. And I'm confused because I want to know, if you're the CEO of that company, you ain't see the news? No funny shit. You ain't see what happened to your colleague? You ain't see how within 30 minutes they had started the meeting on time, stepped over his body, had his emails forwarded, and had his job posted on LinkedIn within the hour? I don't know. Y'all might want to rethink that anesthesia thing.
The only heir to the throne is dead. Sorrows, prayer.
Do you think when that CEO of UnitedHealthcare got assassinated yesterday, and I know this is a heartless question to ask, and it's going to come off as like a really insensitive joke, and maybe it's too soon, but like, do you think when they took him to the hospital yesterday to try to resuscitate him, that the people that worked at the hospital were like, hold up, does he have insurance? What? Can we get that policy number?
I just think that now that we have an unmasked photo of the gunman, we should all be looking for him together. I'm just kidding. They should definitely try conservative care before reaching out for outside help.
Dude, no way. Bro, what happened? What is it? It says here the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, like the insurance company, got gunned down in broad daylight in the middle of New York City. Dude, check this out. What the heck? That's nuts. Bro, I know. And it says in the article that the gunman is still on the loose right now as we speak. Oh my God. Is he okay? No, dude, the CEO ended up dying at the... Oh, no, I'm not talking about the CEO. I'm talking about the gunman. Like, is he all right? Like, has he fled the country? Is he okay? Does he need food, water? I don't think you could say that.
I'm sorry about his family. I'm sure that they're heartbroken. The rest of us are not heartbroken, which is, it's surreal to even say as a human being. We're all fighting here, tooth and nail, to try to pay our medical debt, even though we already pay insurance. And the board members could give two shits. That board meeting went on as planned. They, oh, what happened to Brian? Did Brian not make it out of the hotel? And I'm not speaking out of line because I have had UnitedHealthcare for the past 5 years for me and my sons. $120 a week out of my check for this insurance, and I still have all these bills that I can't pay. I've had creditors call me. Oh, you owe for this, your back surgery 3 years ago. Your $80,000 back surgery. They're still sending me bills. Life-saving treatments, medications, therapies are not being covered by UnitedHealthcare, and people are fucking bullshit. And the whole picture isn't right. They were having why didn't they have this meeting via Zoom? Why didn't they? I mean, we live in a Zoom world. These are all executives that were flying in from Miami and Chicago and Philadelphia and LA to talk about the finances and the annual revenue and blah, blah, blah. This dude was making $10 million a year. $10 million a year. You and me and everyone we know will never see that kind of money in our life. And I said this yesterday, no one deserves that kind of money. I don't care if you are an open heart surgeon. I don't care if you're finding that, you're working in a lab, you're trying to find the cure for cancer. I don't care if you're flying to the moon every weekend on your own jet that you made. Nobody on this planet is worth $10 million when we have people living in the streets. We have people that can't afford their basic necessities, food, shelter, education. We have our younger generation that's not having children. They have decided to not have children. So pardon me if I am not heartsick, heartbroken over the loss of Brian Thompson. Because you know what? Apparently all his board members, they're not heartbroken either because the meeting went on. Hey, business as usual.
God damn it, the UnitedHealthcare CEO had to have the claim for his next breath denied yesterday. My wife has to go into the office once in a quarter. It's like an hour and 20 drive. She's not a big fan of driving, and she's got to get up at the ass crack of dawn, so I drive her in for it every once in a while and make it easier on her. And I recorded a couple videos yesterday, so I had a video all ready to go today, and then the UnitedHealthcare CEO has to go get whacked, and now I gotta talk about it, because, like, come on, I gotta talk about it, and now I gotta talk about it like I'm doing a goddamn truck rant in my wife's Honda Civic. Because it's 10 degrees out there, it's too goddamn cold to wander around the parking lot like a weird ranting homeless person, and I don't think the people at the coffee shop would appreciate this. But it's fine. We can't choose when these gifts are bestowed upon us. And I will make do with what the Lordeth have giveth. It's so dumb. By now you've probably all heard that Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, the largest health insurer in the country, probably the world, because, you know, America, got straight up fucking Hollywood-style assassinated in broad daylight in Manhattan in front of his building before an 8 a.m. meeting. And the internet is having a fucking field day. I gotta tell you, it is restoring my faith in humanity just a tad. I mean, let's be real, it's starting to feel just a tad French up in here because they've been telling us to eat cake for a while now, and we didn't have any, right? But somebody's finally decided to start breaking some eggs. And there's clearly no love lost here for the Marie Antoinettes of our time. And you know, these rich fucks should be starting to get a little bit of a hint. After being balked for their super successful high-definition Titanic experience, and being made fun of for killer whales giving them a high-definition Titanic experience, and now I'm pretty sure there's gotta be brick-and-mortar meme factories pumping out memes by the moment making fun of them being gunned down in the street. And you'd have to think that their spidey sense would be telling them, you know, maybe we've pushed the oppression just a tad too far.
Again! Again!
It has been less than 48 hours since the CEO of United Health has been unalive, and they already posted his job on Indeed. So what makes you think your job is secure? Don't trust none of these companies.
They stepped over his body and started the meeting on time. He was in Manhattan at 7 a.m. for an 8 a.m. investor meeting. He got in front of the main doors to the building of the investor meeting. They could have had this shit on Zoom. Instead, they had to be there in person. Why they had to be there in person? Because we need to make sure commercial real estate is flourishing. He got by an assassin with a silencer while he wore a jacket thinking about PowerPoint presentations on how he is returning value to shareholders by denying health care to moms with breast cancer. And he got caught in the street, and they stepped over his body. Those investors that he was working for, the shareholders that he held dear as a CEO, they stepped over his pool of blood. They kicked the shell casings that led to the end of his life down the street because the meeting still had to start on time. These companies don't give a fuck about nobody. He was the chief executive officer of a healthcare company. They fucking didn't even check to see if he still had a pulse. They just wanted to check the stock price, which, mind you, went up 2.5% when they found out his ass was dead. Do less at work.
Hello, sir. Did you witness anything strange in the area?
What, witness?
Yes.
Is this camera on?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, no, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye and 43% blind in my right eye. I don't see much of nothing. Matter of fact, I can't even see you, sir.
Do you guys think that Americans have lost their empathy towards stuff like this? Or do you think Americans are just fed up with these health insurance and their policies in not approving medically necessary treatments? And some of these claims that get denied result in the unaliving of thousands of Americans. Share your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll be back with new videos soon.